Hi everybody, I'm going to share with you my second card share for the month of February. Still working kind of with the things that are currently on my desk. This is the Cards magazine from February 2011. I shared it with you guys my last card share, and I've been just using it for inspiration, kind of going back through these magazines and finding cards that inspire me. And this was the first one that I really liked. I liked the doily, and I liked the ribbon on either ends of that. That's the card that I was inspired by, and this is what I eventually created following that kind of inspiration. This is some paper from Crepe Paper with the designs by Maggie Holmes. This is, I think I shared it with you guys last time as well. I got a great deal on it, and I've just kind of been sitting on my desk, so I've just been using it quite a bit. Most of the sentiments for the cards that I'm going to share with you are from this stamp set. It's called Who's Your Valentine, and it is, the item number is here, and it's from Close to My Heart. A lot of the images and the sentiments that I'm using on these cards are from that stamp set, so I'll mention that as I go through the cards, because there's quite a few. So there's that one, and then let's see, what was my other one? There was another one in here that really inspired me. So this is the next one. I really enjoyed the clusters of elements, embellishments right here. So took that and came up with this. A little bit different, slightly different, but kind of the same precedence. You just never know where inspiration's going to come from. So that's kind of what I got. And looking at that card. This is a velvet rub-on from Close to My Heart. I don't think, let's see, yeah, this one is discontinued, but it's just stuff on my desk, and I'm just trying to use it up. So it's a little stamped image from the Who's Your Valentine stamp set again, and just added lots of buttons, and it's really, quick. Put a little stamp on the inside and rounded off the edges there. So that's the other card. The next one is, so this is the card that I was inspired by, and let me find what I did with that. Okay. And this is the one that I eventually made. It's a little bit different. It's I like that it was kind of simple and flat, except for these little embellishments. I did it the opposite way and kind of just added stickers as opposed to anything really dimensional. This one, little heart, is up on pop dots. This paper again is that same Crepe Paper pattern paper, and then I just added a little, what are those called? Epoxy dots, or what are they? I can't remember. Anyway, that's what I did, and then just kind of put a little banner on the inside with some stamps, stamping there. The next one was, this here. I did a really simple one. Just a cool little chevron background. This is another stamp from Close to My Heart's Backgrounds and Borders. It's called In the Background, and that's the item number. And I love this one. In cleaning out my stamps at the beginning of the year, I realized I kind of go through every year and just clean out stuff that if I haven't used it in a while. If I haven't used it since last year, definitely it has to, I try to clear it out. But one thing I find the hardest to get rid of is background, border stamps, and alphabet stamps. I just never want to let those go because they're just so, they're just so useful. Anyway, this is what I came up with. Really simple. Added some little hearts, and this is also from the Who's Your Valentine stamp set. Oops. Really kept it simple. Banners and hearts on the inside is kind of the going theme for a lot of these Valentine's cards that I created. So the next one was inspired by something I saw on YouTube. It's an older video, might have been late last year, from Jennifer McGuire. She was showing the differences between, or how to use the new embossing paste and how to get different colors and stuff like that. And I just saw one that she did, and this isn't embossed, but I just took that kind of idea that she had done and used it on this card. So what I've done on here is really, really simple. It's actually only, it looks like a lot of different ink pads, but it's actually only 3, and I just used second generation on them so that, you know, I could get a good gradient of color on here. It's not a lot of stamp pads, so don't, if you want to try it, it's really easy to do that if you just use the second generation of each color and kind of go up that way. This is the inside again with a banner and some hearts. This is actually covering up a little, tiny little screw up that I did. So I added, this is the little heart behind stamped onto the cardstock, and then I cut another heart out on a separate piece of paper and just kind of glued it down and added the banner. I think that turned out pretty good. So this is probably my favorite one of the whole stack. We'll see. There's that one, and then this is the next one. Again, using the Who's Your Valentine stamp set, added the little owls, and this little guy is up on foam square. Some little hearts that are kind of ghosting in the background, and then it's the sentiment from that stamp set as well. Happy Valentine's Day. And the inside, heart and a banner. Can't never go wrong with that. There's that one. The next ones are actually, let's see, we're kind of inspired by, oh, let's do this one. These two are just, this is my next one. And I don't remember seeing, I think this one I just kind of came up with on my own because this stamp set was sitting on my desk, and I loved the jar. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys saw, some of you might have seen my Christmas year-round Your Paper Pantry challenge, and I used this stamp set in my card challenge for February. And this stamp set here is a stamp that I bought a while back last year. And they are in Spanish, and they are from, this company is called Dilo en Español, and then her name is Lisbeth, I can't read the last name. I don't know what it's kind of, the ink is kind of weird. Anyway, she is just a super, super awesome stamp designer, and there's the retroshabby.com if you guys are interested in buying stamp sets in Spanish sentiments. It's kind of hard, I mean, it's a little bit difficult. So I just, I purchased some that I thought I would use quite often. Obviously, thank you, and then with love, and then this one I think was on sale, so I got it, but it's like get well soon kind of scent theme. So I picked that up too because that's useful. But this one is, I use mostly the thank you ones, because I have a bunch of cards I need to make for thank yous, and I wanted them to be in Spanish. So there's thanks a million. And I just added this little heart, little flowers, and then these tiny little, this was kind of a pain, because this was on the little strips of pearls, and I cut them each individually, and they're so tiny. But I think they look great, so I like the way they look. So there's that one, and then I used that same jar again for a Valentine's card, and it says For You Valentine, and I added, I don't know if you can see, fabric paint on the hearts. Oh, there you go. Kind of ended up looking like liquid pearls, which I thought was great. So there's that, and then the inside of the card is not decorated at all. So I have to make these, mentioned I have to make these thank you cards for this coming Sunday. So this is the a card that I did months and months ago, when I was trying to build up my thank you card stash, and I made this card, and I really liked using that same Spanish sentiment stamp set, and I created this. So I went back and kind of got inspiration from my previous cards to make new cards. So this is really, really simple. Again, just using papers that were on my desk. That's another crepe paper one. So there's the inspiration. And then this is another one that I did many months ago. Took that card and really, really liked the way that's turned out. That is a super cute stamp set from close to my heart, and if I could find it, I'd show it to you. Oh, I don't know what I did with it. It's one of these, oh, here it is. These tiny little new, they're actually just kind of new. I just started carrying them, the last idea book, but they're really tiny. They're the M size stamp sets. They're like $3, I think. Really, really inexpensive. And then I just really like the way it looks. So especially when it's, I don't know why, but when I stamp it in white, I just think it looks so much better. So there it is in white. And this is I believe this, I should keep this on there. Like, put a paper or a post-it note or something so I can remember where I got the idea from. But I believe this was from a Mojo Monday sketch from a while ago. I'm not 100% sure, but just took scraps of, this was my time when I was trying to kill off a stamp or a paper pad, so paper collection. So that's the original card that I made, and this is the second one that I just made to kind of replicate it a little bit. Different pattern paper. And I ran out, can you believe it? I've had these Prima flowers for years and years and years, back when everybody was buying them and then spraying them and whatever. And I finally got rid of them. My little baggie is completely empty. So I had to go through my stash and find other flowers that I could use. So just added this little, I think this is actually from a Prima Christmas set, but it's white and it works, so I'm doing that. Then I just used my button stash. This is a really old one of these vintage buttons, and I just stuck it on there with some twine, and I really like the way it turned out. And they look pretty similar. The placement of the circles and stuff is just a little bit different, but the basic layout of the card is pretty much the same. And I just really like the way they turned out. So there's my copycat of myself. And then these last two cards are just kind of ones that I did just kind of came up with on my own. So this is a little card I kind of like to piece things together. This is just extra pieces of paper that I had just on my desk, kind of in my stash. This is an older, a close to my heart promotional paper stack, and it has these embossed cardstocks and things like that. So I, just kind of cut everything to fit on the card. This is it's kind of funny when I do these, because I'm not I'll measure this exactly and split it up, measure the front of it and whatever, kind of try and decide that way. I kind of just go and cut that looks like 2 inches, cut 2 inches, and then, okay, now I got to make this one, so it's kind of silly, but that's how I did it. And then again, I used one of those Spanish stamp sets and added a little button and some twine, and it's really simple and plain, but I kind of like it. So. And then my final one, this is one I just did last night. Used that embossed cardstock from Close to My Heart and added just pattern paper and kind of layered things on. This is actually part of the pattern paper that I thought was kind of cool, that it fit right on into my 2-inch hole punch. So it worked perfectly. I was able to punch out that little circle from the pattern paper, and I think it looks really cool. So it just says, thank you sentiment in Spanish, and then in the inside this was a piece of paper that I actually cut off here because I made it a little too wide and I didn't like the way it looked, so I trimmed off a tiny little bit, and then I added it to the inside of the card. So that's my card share for this month. I'm sorry if I rambled on, but it's kind of just what I've been working on. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching, and hope you guys are having a good